In the beginning, before time itself was woven into the fabric of existence, there was heaven, a realm of unimaginable beauty, bathed in the eternal, radiant light of God's presence. It was a symphony of peace, a kingdom of perfect harmony, where countless angels served the Almighty, their voices rising in a ceaseless chorus of praise. Among them, none was more brilliant, more magnificent, than Lucifer, the light-bringer, the morning star. He was created perfect in beauty and wisdom, standing closest to the celestial throne. His wings were adorned with every precious stone, and he walked among the fiery stones of heaven, a being of pure, unadulterated splendor. But within this perfection, a seed of darkness began to sprout. Pride, a subtle and venomous thought, took root in Lucifer's heart. He looked upon his own glory, his own wisdom, and his own power, and began to covet something that was not his to claim. He saw the worship directed toward the Creator and desired it for himself. A question, born of arrogance, echoed in the silence of his mind. Why should I serve? Why not rule? This single, corrupting thought would shatter the peace of eternity and unleash a conflict that would scar creation forever. He began to whisper his discontent among the other angels. He sowed seeds of doubt and ambition, twisting the truth with masterful deception. He painted a picture of a greater freedom, a destiny unbound by service, a throne of their own, and many listened. A third of the heavenly host, swayed by his charismatic promises and their own burgeoning pride, turned their hearts away from the source of all light. They chose to follow the morning star into rebellion, believing his lies of a self-made glory. The perfect harmony of heaven was broken. The celestial choir fell silent, replaced by the murmurs of mutiny and the chilling sound of loyalty being renounced. As Lucifer's rebellion swelled, the armies of heaven were rallied. There was no question of neutrality. A choice had to be made. Standing firm in unwavering loyalty was the Archangel Michael, whose name itself is a question and a battle cry. Who is like God? He was not the most beautiful or the most powerful of the archangels in his own right, but his strength came from a source far greater, his unshakable faith and absolute devotion to the Creator. He saw Lucifer's pride for what it was, a betrayal not just of a king, but of love itself. Michael unsheathed his divine sword, its edge glowing with holy fire, and stood ready to defend the throne of heaven. The celestial plains, once fields of peace, became a battlefield. On one side stood Lucifer, now called Satan, the adversary, and his legions of fallen angels. Their forms, once luminous, began to twist and darken with the hatred that consumed them. Their weapons, forged in pride, glowed with a cold, malevolent light. On the other side, Michael led the loyal host of heaven. Clad in armor of pure light, their wings beating in unified resolve, they prepared to fight for the honor of their king. The air crackled with divine energy, the very foundations of heaven trembling in anticipation of the clash to come. There was no turning back. War erupted in heaven. It was a conflict unlike any earthly battle, a war of light against darkness, of loyalty against betrayal. Swords of pure energy clashed, sending shockwaves of power across the celestial expanse. Angelic cries, both of war and of pain, echoed through the divine realm. Every strike was a contest of will, every parry a test of faith. Michael and Lucifer, once brothers in light, now met as bitter foes at the heart of the maelstrom. Their duel was the epicenter of the war, a terrifying and majestic spectacle. Michael's blade, fueled by righteousness, met Lucifer's, which burned with the fire of ambition. The battle raged with unimaginable intensity. Entire constellations seemed to shudder with the force of their blows. The loyal angels fought with the strength of their conviction, their every move an act of worship and defense of the divine order. The rebellious angels fought with the fury of desperation and the rage of envy. They sought to tear down what they could not possess, to extinguish the light they had willingly abandoned. Scenes of incredible heroism and tragic downfall played out across the heavens. Angels, once companions, were now locked in mortal combat, their radiant forms clashing in a beautiful yet horrifying dance of destruction. Michael, empowered by God, began to push Lucifer back. For every cunning strike from the deceiver, Michael responded with a blow of pure, unyielding truth. His strength was not his own, it was the power of the one he served. He fought not for glory, but for justice. He was the embodiment of divine will, an instrument of God's unassailable authority. He pressed his advantage, his holy sword driving a wedge into the heart of the rebellion. The fallen angels began to falter, their dark energy flickering against the overwhelming brilliance of the heavenly host. The tide of the war was turning. With the final, decisive surge of divine power, Michael cast Lucifer down. It was a moment of cataclysmic finality. The Lightbringer, the morning star, was thrown from the heights of glory. He and his rebellious legions were expelled from heaven, falling like lightning from the celestial sphere. Their descent was a streak of darkness tearing through the fabric of creation, a permanent scar to mark their ultimate failure. As they fell, their beautiful forms were completely lost, twisted into grotesque mockeries of their former selves, their pride having led them to utter ruin. Heaven was cleansed of their presence, silence returned to the celestial realm, but it was a different silence than before. It was the solemn quiet after a great and terrible victory. The loyal angels, weary but triumphant, stood once more before the throne of God. The light of heaven seemed to shine even brighter, purified by the conflict. The war was over. Good had triumphed over evil. Loyalty had conquered betrayal. The Archangel Michael sheathed his sword, his duty done, his king's honor defended. The angelic choir began to sing once more, not just a song of praise, but a song of victory, a hymn to the unshakable power and justice of the Almighty. The story of the war in heaven is more than just an ancient tale. It is a timeless reminder of the eternal struggle between pride and humility, between rebellion and faith. It shows that even the most brilliant light can be consumed by darkness if it turns away from its source. And it affirms that true strength is found not in self-aggrandizement, but in righteous service. The fall of Lucifer serves as a solemn warning, while the victory of Michael stands as a testament to the ultimate triumph of God's will. The echo of this celestial battle resounds through all of creation, a foundational story of good, evil, and the choices that define destiny. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the epic tales that have shaped our world.